Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny, and in this bad fishing video, we'll be doing a lure review and fishing with the Geecrack Tiny Gilling 75. This is a little wake bait that's a subsurface lure, so we're gonna see what it can do. Let's go. Whoa, there we go. Yeah! Woo, holy cow, folks. Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! And that one hooked. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny. We are out at the lake. It's kind of a, as you can see, kind of a windy day a little bit here. And I'm fishing on a pond that's usually pretty good. It gets a lot of pressure, but there are opportunities here. But I'm going to do my testing here, and we're going to fish it, and we're going to see what we can make happen here. As you can see, once again, this is the Tiny Gilling 75. So it's a perfect match to hatch bluegill lure right here, and it's a wake bait. But it can go a little bit deeper, but mostly like a little wake bait, shallow water and surface. So we're going to see what we can do with this lure right here, and also I'll give you my thoughts and view on it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, here is our Tiny Gilling 75, and we're going to put it to work and see what we can make happen with it. So let's go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here, just get out in the water here so that you can see it. I wanted you guys to take a closer look at that. Notice how it sits on top. So it's a surface lure, but just has that really smooth bluegill pattern right here and bluegill movement right here. So I've actually got this on one of my, normally I don't fish with monofilament totally, but this one is kind of all monofilament, and I'm using this one on this particular lure here. And as you can see, it just wakes back right to left, and has a very smooth movement to it here. And I'm sure if there are bass who are feeding on bluegill who see this with this kind of coloration and design, I am going to definitely get a hit on it here. So I just want to show it to you again here, and you can just see when it hits the sunlight what it looks like there. Throw it in, it always surfaces back up again, and it just looks great in the water. So we're going to keep on fishing with this lure right here and see what we can do. As I said before, it's a little windy out here. So I got to keep my rod tip down so it stays subsurface, but it has great movement here. And you could actually, if you wanted to, as you can see, I have it tied to a leader on there, but you could tie directly onto this right here, and then you totally would have it would just look like a bluegill swimming by itself there. I keep the leader on there sometimes just in case, because sometimes I've had bass actually snap my line because I didn't have a leader there for them to bite into at first. So I'm a little cautious in that area there, but this lure is doing great, and it looks awesome in the water. Okay, let's cast it out there. Throw it out. Keep the rod tip down. And then just have a steady retrieve. And with any luck, something will see this and catch that flicker and go after it. All right, and one last other thing I noticed with this lure, I'm doing a straight retrieve, but you could keep the rod tip down. Instead of a straight retrieve, you could kind of pop it, and then it does like a frantic little distressed minnow. So yeah, so if you do a pop it, it goes down, it'll come right back up again. And that's really nice too with this lure as well. So not only can you do a straight retrieve, you can also pop it, and it'll jump, it'll skip a little bit, and below the surface, it'll look like a distressed bluegill that's dying. And that too can also help you attract those bass. All right. So I'm going to keep on fishing, but this completes our actual, get over here. This actually completes our actual lure review of this lure right here. And I'm going to keep on fishing it and see what happens. But I'm very impressed with it. And I know this lure will get bit. All right. All right, everybody. Here's that Tiny Gill 75. And we're going to try our luck today. See if we can't catch some fish on it today. We did our testing, but let's see if we can catch some fish. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go, everybody. Look at that. On the Gilling, 75. He wanted that bluegill. All right. Came up and struck at it. All right, everybody. He wasn't the biggest, but he wanted that little 75 bluegill right there. So that's good. Got some action. All right. Okay, everybody. Not the biggest one, but no complaints. Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny here. Well, you saw that one right there, and I wanted to go somewhere where I could put this lure to the test and see how bass would respond. I fish in a lot of different spots, but I wanted to fish here. I knew they'd be like a little bit smaller bass, but I figured if the smaller bass will hit it, that means the bigger bass will hit it as well. So that's why I'm so glad that I got it out here, and I'm fishing it in some other places to see what it can do, because I want you guys to see what it can do as well as a potential lure you'd add to your tackle box. And this is a really great looking lure with great movement. So I'm going to keep on fishing with it and we'll see what happens. All right. There we go. There we go, everybody. There we go. On that gill. All right. All right, everybody. Look at that one. Look at that, everybody. On that gill. Looking good. All right. Everybody, Topwater Johnny, look at this one, everybody. On that Tiny Gill 75. We got one here. So this is definitely proving to be a good test day with this lure. This lure is putting into work. And you saw it, we got one, so no complaints. All right. All right, everybody, there you go. A little over a pound on that Gilling, Tiny Gilling 75. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. On that Gilling. All right. All right, everybody. As you can see, he is hooked. He is hooked good on that Gilling right there. And that's what he wanted. All right. All right, there he is on that Tiny Gilling 75. All right, everybody, stop where Johnny. Here we got another one on that Gilling 75. So they're hitting it right on the edge, and they like that bluegill pattern. So we're doing it. All right. All right, everybody, another nice one. There we go. Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny. Hope you've enjoyed this video here. We got some results with that lure here on the test day. Not only did we test the lure, but we caught fish on the lure. So I'm really happy when I'm able to do that for you guys. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna head back to the office and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right. Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny here. Hope you enjoyed that video. What we're gonna do right now is do a closer look of the Geecrack Tiny Gilling 75. So we're gonna do a really close look at it. Then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts about this lure. All right. All right, everybody, here we've got a lure by Geecrack. The lure's name is the Tiny Gilling 75 Flash Brown Gill, and it is a floating lure. The actual length is 3 inches. The weight is 0.31 ounces. And this is, as you can see, a jointed little swim bait here. The actual, as you can see on top here, the fins on top are actually made out of a plastic material, and they are, as you can see real close, replaceable, as well as the tail is replaceable as well. So should you lose the tail or the fins, you can call in replacements on that. Big, big realistic eyes right here. And this lure really is designed to look like a fleeing bluegill. So definitely will be something that you can throw up in the shallows and draw strikes from as well, from those hungry bass, or out in the center and reeling it throughout the center of the water column just below the surface and get some strikes from it there. So there it is, the Tiny Gill 75 Flash Brown Gill floating. All right. Okay, everybody, we're back, and I hope you enjoyed that closer look. So in this video here, you saw me test this lure out, and I'll show it to you right here again, the Tiny Gilling. You saw me test it out, and you saw something really important. You saw me catching fish on this lure right here. And this lure to me is one of the best micro swim baits out there right now. I mean, it's a little expensive though. It does cost a little bit. I got that hookup tackle for $22.99. But look at the quality of that lure and that design. If that doesn't look like a bluegill in the shallows, I really don't know what it is. I mean, this thing it's jointed, has such great detail. These parts on the top, as I mentioned before, are replaceable. So you can actually get these pieces replaced should they break off or should they fall out. You can get those replaced. This right here really is a great little swim bait slash wake bait, because what I was doing was I was running it in the shallows and just a little bit subsurface, and those bass were coming up and they were hitting it. Whether they were big bass or small bass, they all eat bluegill, and especially in the shallows. And just think about it, having this little lure during the spawn, they're going to eat that, and they're going to eat it really aggressively, because bass do not like bluegill during the spawn, and after the spawn, that's what's for dinner, or bluegill. So this lure right here truly is a special little lure that I am really going to continue to keep on fishing with, and really try to hone my skills and get a lot better fishing this lure right here. As I said before, it's got a number 10 treble hooks on here, and these are actually really good stout treble hooks for the size of this lure, which I was really surprised about. I thought I was going to have to change them out, but I didn't have to change them out there. So, like I said before, really impressed with this one here as well. Also, as we move along here, we'll be doing more reviews as always, but something else is really, I've been noticing, has been coming up even more and more, and that's swim baits. And so I'm not really the big swim bait guy, but I've been receiving as a gift swim baits. And so I'm going to try to fish these baits in the shallows, in cover, and see if I can't get those bass to bust on it like a topwater lure. So I'm going to be fishing swim baits over the next couple of videos here to see what I can make happen. It's not normally something that I fish all the time, but it's very interesting, because here's the thing. Swim baits, for most intentions, are all about matching the hatch. And when you're topwater fishing, that's what you're trying to do, is create this illusion to the bass that that's a fleeing fish, that's a frog, that's an insect. So swim baits seem to be something that I'm going to play around with. So you're going to see some videos of me fishing with bigger swim baits in the future to see what I can do. Now, next week, we've got definitely a little plastic swim bait by Arrowhead called the Flash J Shad. Now, I bought this lure over a year ago at a bait shop and never ever used it. But recently, once I saw it, I was looking through my equipment and saw it and said, man, the bass should really like something like this. Look at that glitter. Look at that movement, that resin right there. Really looks like a great little bluegill lure. So the video on Monday, you're going to see me fishing with this lure right here. And then also, I'll be fishing with a smaller one as well. During the video I'll be on Monday, this lure right here is actually 4 inches. I say 3 inches in the video, but it's actually a 4-inch one. There's a smaller one, and you'll see that one in later footage as well. Down the road, a couple of weeks or so down the road, you'll see that. But this is the lure we're going to be fishing with, and you're going to see next week. So, question is always the same. What's your thoughts about the bluegill lure? Do you like it? Would you fish with it? What are your thoughts about it? Please leave a like and a comment below. And then once again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. Please make sure you like it. As always, please like the channel. That helps us grow. So once again, this is Topwater Johnny saying that phrase. Keep your line tight, because when you hit those topwater lures, especially lures that look like little bluegills, it's going to be a big bite. I'll see you in the next video.